Hey, peace and love. How you guys doing? I want to introduce myself. My name is William Allen Moore. A lot of my friends, my family, my close ones know me as Wham. You get it, William Allen Moore, WAM, Wham. It's an onomatopoeia and it's an acronym. It's a play off of my name. Everyone knows and loves me as Wham. Rest in peace to George Michael. Not quite the Wham, missing the H, but you get what I'm saying. Anywho, William Allen Moore, born and raised in Dallas, Texas. I consider myself a Texan through and through, but I've been living here in Atlanta for the past 15 years. So technically, I'm an ATLian and I'm a Texan. So I'm a ATXan. I don't know, Texan alien, whatever you want to call it. But basically, I have my roots back home in Dallas, Texas. But then I also definitely have my roots firmly planted here in the great city of Atlanta, Georgia. So I wanted to introduce myself to you guys so you understand of my whole involvement with high gravity hip hop and where I come from as far as being involved with it. It goes back to around circa 2011, 2012 when I first met my boy Lennox at actually one of his first beer festivals that was ever thrown. It was the first beer festival thrown. I remember meeting him and seeing the cat. Lennox is this tall, light skinned, bald head dude, full beard and everything. And at first I was a little jealous because he had the full beard. I can't do a full beard. I can only do the goatee right here. My stuff don't grow in the side, so I was a little jealous, but I do got my full head of hair right here, so at least I got that going. But then I remember meeting him and chopping it up with him, whoop-de-whoop, and find out that he's actually a member of also my fraternity, Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated. He is what we consider the Bruz, okay? Have a very, very hardcore, thorough love of Omega Psi Phi. Show you so much. Let me show you. Got the gold boots right here. Never leave home without them. I usually wear these when I'm trekking to go find a nice beer somewhere. And then you never know when you got to bust out the paddle too for them. So keep that in mind. I've used this for many, many fun times that have happened after copious amounts of beer were consumed. Anyway, I'm getting off topic. So I wanted to give you guys an introduction of how I got into high gravity hip hop through Lennox, and more so my passion of beer. Over the past decade plus, I would almost say 20 years damn near, I've really found this infatuation with the love of beer like anybody else. I got introduced to it at an early age with my father. He told me about his Coors and his Buzz and all this other stuff like that. But then I really got into it and realized that there's a different way that you can actually have different types of beer. And that's what really got me into the craft beer scene, realizing that you had hops and that you could throw in, and you had pale ales, and you had lagers, and you had pilsners, and you had stouts and porters and all this delicious stuff that I had no idea my palate was going to be prepared for. So I ended up tasting some different types of beers, getting into it, and really, really loving the whole craft beer game. So with that knowledge and with me knowing all that about craft beer, I have contributed my skills to high gravity hip hop as a bartender and as I like to think of myself a beerologist. I have a very, very deep love of beer, so much so when I'm meeting or talking with people, I make sure that they know of the different types of beers that they could probably try out, maybe different food and beverages that they can try and pair with the different beers. I mean, a lot of different stuff to really put people on the true world of craft beer. And now my goal and mission is to really make sure that people understand and know how craft beer works, the way that it can be paired with different foods, and then more importantly, what is your craft beer? I feel like for every person, or some people believe that there's a soulmate for everyone. I believe that there's a beer for you, your beer mate, if you will, your beer that's your go-to, that you will love, you would drink through and through. And I guarantee is even for those people who don't consider themselves beer drinkers as well. There's a beer out there for you. Now, in thinking about high gravity hip hop and what kind of impact that we're going to have on the world, I really do love the consideration of high gravity that it has, that it wants to take hip hop festivals and the love of craft beer and end racism basically through hip hop music and through the love of craft beer. And I really do believe that that is something that's very important. I mean, we've seen it done before in many, many cases. Our good president, former President Barack Obama, one of his earlier issues that he ever had in his presidency dealing with racism, he actually squashed it out with him and Joe Biden and the dude over a beer, you know? So the thing is that a lot of times we get caught up in all this thing of being frustrated, wanting to have violence against each other, being fed up with each other, etc. When in actuality, if you actually take your time to find a reason to sit down, be calm, cool, and complacent, you can actually solve a lot of the world's problems. And what other way to be calm, cool, and placid than over a nice, cool, sudsy, beautiful, head, nice colored craft beer. So high gravity hip hop really does embody that. I believe that we embody that as a group and as a culture and as a movement, that all of this going on in the world, just take a beer, sit down, drink it with your friends, your family, your loved ones, or even your enemies, and actually talk things through. And you would guarantee, or I would guarantee, that the world will be a much, much better place. So that's my time. I wanted to just send this video in to you guys. Thank you so much for the opportunity to introduce myself to you guys and everything. I will guarantee that you guys will really love the way that we're progressing with everything as far as high gravity hip hop goes. So y'all take care. Peace out. Your boy Wham Bam. Love, peace, and craft beer.